Welcome back to Healthier Daily. I'm Dr. Ben Carter. Let me ask you something personal. Does the thought of a high curb on the sidewalk give you a moment of pause? Do you find yourself bracing your arms to get out of a deep, comfortable chair? Have you ever felt a flicker of dread when faced with a simple flight of stairs, wondering if your legs will feel strong enough today? You are not imagining it. You are staying active. You are walking. You are doing your exercises. But still that feeling of weakness, instability, and aching seems to be growing. This is one of the most frustrating and frightening experiences for anyone over 60. And the reason is far more sinister than you think. What if the very exercises you're performing with discipline and hope are in fact the cause of this decline? What if your daily routine has become a form of silent sabotage, invisibly demolishing your leg strength day by day?
What Dr. Carter describes is a tragedy I see too often. We must think of our body as a house of strength, and our legs are its very foundation. A strong foundation means freedom, independence, and the ability to live life on your own terms. But what happens when the tools you believe are strengthening that foundation are in fact causing it to crack from within?
That is the critical question we will answer today. We will expose the two most common types of cracks that popular exercises are creating in the foundation of seniors everywhere. More importantly, we will then give you the proper tools and a new blueprint to repair the damage and rebuild your house of strength, making it stronger and more resilient than ever before. To start, we'd love to know who is committed to this journey of building strength. Please type the number 1 in the comments below if you exercise at least twice a week, and let us know what state or country you're joining us from. And if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe so you don't miss out on this essential knowledge. Now, Dr. Hinohara, to begin our inspection, what is the first and most destructive type of crack we need to look for in our foundation?
The first and most damaging type of crack, Dr. Carter, is what I call the overload crack. This is not caused by gentle, consistent work. It is caused by exercises that use brute force where a gentle hand is needed. They are the equivalent of taking a sledgehammer to your own foundation, believing that more power and more weight will make it stronger, when in reality, they are causing it to fracture. The most common tool used for this is the weighted deep squat. I think of a proud retired firefighter, a man who had spent his life being strong for others. Determined to maintain his power, he would do deep squats in his garage holding a heavy kettlebell. He thought the burning in his thighs was the feeling of strength being forged, but soon his knees began to throb at night. Climbing the stairs to his bedroom became a dreaded task. He was using a sledgehammer, and the cornerstone of his foundation, his knees, was being chipped away with every rep.
That story is a perfect example of a misunderstanding between muscle burn and joint damage. The overload crack from deep squats is caused by immense compressive force on the patellofemoral joint, which is the area directly behind your kneecap. As you go down into a deep squat, especially with added weight, the pressure essentially grinds the back of your kneecap against your thigh bone. In a young person with thick, healthy cartilage, this might be tolerated, but after 60, our cartilage naturally thins. Imagine two rough stones being ground together. That is what's happening to that delicate, worn-down cartilage. You're not just building muscle, you're pulverizing the very cushion that allows your knee to move smoothly, leading to inflammation, pain, and arthritis.
And the second tool that creates this same crack is more deceptive because it looks so safe. It is the leg extension machine you see in every gym. I had a patient, a retired engineer, who was very cautious. He avoided squats, but he used the leg extension machine 3 times a week because he could sit down while doing it. He thought it was the safest way to build his quadriceps. Yet, He came to me because he was experiencing a sharp stabbing pain in his knees whenever he tried to get up from his recliner or out of his car. The very machine he trusted was robbing him of his real-world strength.
The leg extension machine is dangerous for an aging body for a different, more sinister reason. Unlike a squat, which creates compressive force, this machine creates a high degree of shearing force on the knee. A shear force is a pulling or pushing force that acts parallel to the joint surface. Imagine trying to slide the top half of a door hinge sideways instead of just bending it. It's an unnatural stress that the joint isn't designed to handle. As you straighten your leg against the machine's resistance, it puts immense strain on the ligaments, particularly the ACL. Worse still, it completely isolates your quadriceps muscles, ignoring the hamstrings and glutes. Functional strength, the kind you need to get out of a chair or catch your balance, requires these muscles to fire together as a team. By strengthening only one muscle in isolation, you are creating a dangerous imbalance around the joint, which paradoxically increases your risk of instability and falls in the real world. You are building a show muscle, not a strong foundation.
The second type of crack in our foundation is more subtle. It is not caused by a single crushing force, but by a slow and steady erosion. This is the repetition crack. It's the damage that comes from thousands of the wrong kinds of steps, the wrong kinds of movements wearing down the foundation like a constant, unnatural drip of water on stone. A perfect example of this is the stair climber machine. I had a patient, a retired school teacher, who was very proud of the 30 minutes she spent on the stair machine every single day. She believed she was building cardiovascular health and leg strength. But she came to me with a persistent, deep ache in her hip and a burning tightness down her leg. She was confused and frustrated. The very machine she trusted to keep her strong was, in fact, the source of her pain.
The danger of machines like the stair climber is a concept called pattern overload. When you walk up real stairs, your body makes thousands of tiny unconscious adjustments. You shift your weight slightly, alter your foot placement, and engage different stabilizer muscles. Your movement is varied and natural. A machine, however, forces you into a single, fixed, and repetitive path of motion. Your foot follows the exact same unnatural arc thousands of times. This relentlessly stresses the same specific tendons and ligaments over and over again, particularly the hip flexors and the IT band. It's like rubbing a rope over the exact same sharp edge again and again. Eventually, it frays and weakens. She wasn't building endurance. She was creating a chronic overuse injury through sheer repetition.
And this same crack appears from another popular category of exercise, one often marketed to seniors as a way to stay young, high-impact aerobics, and long-distance jogging. I think of a grandmother who joined a senior fitness class at her community center. The class was full of jumping jacks and high knee skipping. The instructor was young and enthusiastic. This woman, wanting to keep up, ended her class not with more energy, but with a strained ankle and swollen, painful knees. She told me later, with fear in her eyes, I thought movement was supposed to heal, not hurt.
Her body was sending her a clear message. The repetition crack from high-impact movement is caused by microtrauma. Think of the cartilage in your knees and hips as the shock absorbers on a car. In your youth, they are thick and resilient. After age 60, your body's ability to produce new collagen to repair that cartilage slows down significantly. The shock absorbers are simply worn down. Every jump, every jog on hard pavement sends a shock wave up through your body that your joints can no longer effectively absorb. One jump won't cause the damage, but thousands of them over weeks and months create cumulative microtrauma that leads to chronic inflammation, joint pain, and the breakdown of your foundation. You are wearing down the joint faster than your body can possibly repair it. Many of us have certainly felt that post-workout ache. On that note, we'd love to build some community wisdom. What's one gentle, low-impact activity that you found helps you feel strong without the pain? Share your favorites in the comments below to inspire our community. So now that we've identified these two major cracks in the foundation, the overload crack from excessive force and the repetition crack from unnatural repetitive movements, we arrive at the most important part of our discussion. How do we repair the damage and begin building a truly strong and resilient foundation? This isn't about stopping exercise, it's about starting the right exercise.
Exactly. This is where we shift our entire philosophy. For much of our lives, we trained for performance to run faster, to lift heavier. After 60, our philosophy must evolve. We no longer build for performance. We build for permanence. We want a foundation that will last a lifetime and that requires intelligent, gentle, and functional tools. The most important tool is one that every single person already has in their home, a sturdy chair.
The simple act of standing up from a chair and sitting back down in a slow, controlled manner, what we call a sit-to-stand, is perhaps the single safest and most effective exercise for senior leg strength. The reason is that it's a closed-chain kinetic exercise. That's a technical term, but the concept is simple. Because your feet are firmly planted on the floor, your body is forced to recruit your leg muscles to work together as a team. Your quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes all contract at the same time to control the movement. This co-contraction creates a natural protective brace around your knee joint, strengthening the entire support system without the dangerous shearing or compressive forces we discussed earlier.
Once you have mastered that simple, powerful movement, you can add gentle strength with another wonderfully safe tool, a resistance band. You don't need heavy, damaging weights to build a strong foundation.
Resistance bands are ideal for aging joints because they provide variable resistance. Unlike a dumbbell, which weighs the same throughout the entire lift, a band has very little tension at the start of a movement and increases as you stretch it. This means your muscles are challenged most at the end of the range of motion, which is often the safest and strongest position for the joint. It allows you to build strength without overloading the joint in its most vulnerable positions.
Finally, we must build not just with strength, but with wisdom and grace. For this nothing is better than water or the ancient practice of Tai Chi.
The science behind these two is fascinating and powerful. Water aerobics works because of buoyancy. Water effectively reduces your body weight by up to 90%, allowing you to strengthen every muscle in your legs with virtually zero impact on your joints. It's resistance training without the risk of a fall. Tai Chi, on the other hand, is one of the most powerful ways to improve your proprioception. Proprioception is like your brain's sixth sense. It's the unconscious awareness of where your body is in space. As we age, this sense dulls, which is why falls become more common. The slow, deliberate, and mindful movements of Tai Chi are a direct workout for this sense, retraining your brain and body to work in harmony, dramatically improving your balance and preventing the falls that could destroy your foundation in an instant. So the lesson today is clear. To build real, lasting leg strength for seniors, we must first be wise enough to identify the exercises to avoid over 60. By avoiding the overload and repetition cracks and instead focusing on smart functional strength training, we can find true joint pain relief. Every correct movement you choose is a direct investment in fall prevention and in your future freedom. You are the architect of your own house of strength.
That is the perfect way to see it. A strong foundation does not just support a house. It allows that house to be filled with life, with family, with joy, and with peace. Your legs are the foundation that allows you to continue filling your life with what matters most. Build them with wisdom, treat them with respect, and they will carry you beautifully for the rest of your days.
Wonderful advice, Dr. Hinohara. As always, thank you for sharing your time and wisdom with us. And to our incredible Healthier Daily community, thank you for joining us on this journey. If this information has opened your eyes, please like this video and share it with someone you know who is trying to stay active and strong. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe for more discussions like this one. Finally, we have one last important question for you. Looking at your own house of strength, what is one crack you will stop creating? And what is one rebuilding exercise you will commit to starting this week? Share your plan in the comments below. Making that promise is a powerful step. Before we go, please take this to heart. The information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or another qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, especially before beginning any new exercise program. I'm Dr. Ben Carter. Be well, and we'll see you next time.